The markets looked absolutely pathetic today, but one of the few stocks looking anything but pathetic, JC Penney of all names. In fact, JC Penney behaving exactly as our next guest predicted it would as the market opened today. How did he get it right, and where does the stock go from here? You may be surprised to hear what JC Parets says. He's Eagle Bay Capital founder and president. From here, had a great day, but we've seen this before with JC Penney. What happens now?
It moves. You know, we have a monster short interest. More than half the float is short. So in order to unwind that position, if you're a short seller, the only way to close out that trade is to buy it back. And when half of the entire short float is short, you got a lot of potential buyers in there, and we're seeing that over the last week or so.
You are bullish on JC Penney, but how much more does it move to the upside?
I think we got at least 30%. You know, we'll reevaluate at that point. That takes us to the highs in the fourth quarter. That's a good solid target. So you're looking at what, 10 and a quarter, something like that, 10.30. And then when we get to that point, then we'll reevaluate the situation. How did we get there? How was the process? Do we still think it goes higher? And we'll make a decision at that point.
What I find fascinating about how you do your picks is that you don't get emotionally involved at all. You are a technical analyst all the way. So you don't sit there and walk into the stores and take pictures and see that you were treated well or you like the merchandise? You don't care, right?
No, I'll sit on the bench and I'll watch what everybody else is doing, and I'll make my decisions based on the behavior of everybody at the mall.
But what is the number showing you lately, the behavior of the stock? Because from this 3-year chart, I'm running fast from JC Penney.
Sure, you and everybody else, which is why half the float is short, right? So it's not a secret. We know JC Penney's in trouble. We know that. That's why there are so many shorts. So what happens? We made new lows going into the beginning of the year, and what happens? We see that unwind, that quick reversal back above those lows. We're seeing the shorts cover. They're getting squeezed. They have to buy it back. That creates a lot of momentum, and there's no correlation with the S&P 500. JC Penney has nothing to do with the overall market. They don't care about Ukraine. Markets are down across the globe. JC Penney was up almost 10% today. It's beautiful.
You're saying it's just a trade. Don't get emotional about these kinds of things, and yet there's still some serious issues with this company. Cash burn rate, the amount of liquidity it has left on its books. Doesn't that make you nervous?
We're here talking about it, Liz, so it's not a secret. We know that. It's already priced into the stock. There's a reason why the stock is down 96% or whatever it is from the highs. We know all of this. So I think it's time to position yourself in JC Penney. And from a risk management standpoint, we want to look at last week's lows. We have a 50-day moving average. We have a gap higher.
And so here it is, relative to the S&P and the spider.
That's right. So if we start breaking back below those lows, last week's gap up low, then we know we're wrong. So from a risk management standpoint, we have our out. We know we're going to be wrong if we're wrong, and we have a target. So when you have well-defined risk and a price target, to me, that's all you need.
JC, you were here talking about how the trade rotation is completely shifted between, say, Apple versus BlackBerry.
Yep.
It used to be everybody wanted Apple, nobody wanted BlackBerry. Last week you were saying go into BlackBerry, particularly for the technical reasons you've just talked about. It's what you see out there, the float position, the shorts, all of that. Today, BlackBerry, also a winner, up more than 3%. Teach people how to do what you do.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of years and a lot of experience in kind of watching the market every single day.
Typical newscaster, do it in 38 seconds.
Yeah. No, but in reality, you know, when you see so much short interest and a name like JC Penney, Liz, we know it's a disaster. We know BlackBerry is a disaster. It's already priced into the stock. So if you get an opportunity where you start getting that short squeeze, you start getting that unwind, which we're getting in BlackBerry, which we're getting in JC Penney. And by the way, the BlackBerry situation, that bottomed a while ago. This is nothing new. BlackBerry's already doubled. JC Penney, I think this is something new. I think this is a new story, and we got a long way to go.
JC, he doesn't get involved in the emotions of it. He simply looks at the numbers and the technicals. It's great to have you.
Thanks for having me.
JC Parets.